acknowledge that we were founded on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, the Attawandaronk, the Mississauga and Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and now live on land that is home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We have many representatives working across this land now known as Ontario, and we acknowledge that there are 46 treaties and other agreements that cover the territory. We are grateful to be able to work and live on this land, and thankful to the First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people who have cared for these territories since time immemorial, and who continue to contribute to the strength of Ontario and to all communities across the province. To continue to center reconciliation, we encourage our team, partners, students, and teachers to take time to learn about the lands they are currently on. Visit native-land.ca for more information.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Local Food Week. My name is Rachel, and I'll be your host from Farm and Food Care Ontario. Thank you for joining us today for our virtual food and farm field trip. Today, we'll be joined by Farmer Philip, who raises dairy cows and water buffalo. On this tour, we'll be focusing on the water buffalo side of the farm, and we're going to meet some of the animals and learn what goes into raising a healthy herd. Philip will be hosting the tour live, so remember to put your questions into the chat to get answered. So we're going to bring on Farmer Philip now and get this tour started. Hi, Philip. Happy Local Food Week. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Do you want to start by telling us a little bit about yourself and the farm?
Yeah, for sure. So I have the privilege of farming with my family on our family farm, and we raise water buffalo and we raise some Holstein cows. So I get to farm with my 3 older siblings at home and my mom and dad, and we have an amazing team of employees that help us take care of these amazing animals. So I'm going to turn the cameras around here, and then you guys can see some buffaloes. So here's some buffaloes. So we milk about 200 water buffalo in this barn and about 120 Holsteins as well. So just take a look around. You can see them all. Buffaloes are very curious animals. As you can see, sometimes they're very friendly too and very curious. They all want attention. You can see what a buffalo eats. Lots of fresh feed. The buffaloes are fed every single day. Lots of fresh feed that's grown on the farm. So these buffaloes in this barn are all milking animals. So what that means is they will get milked twice a day. So they will go through the carousel, and we'll see a video from that later. And they will go through and they will get milked, where they get to return after to these comfortable pens. And you can see all of the beds in the back where they get to sleep. They have lots of space. And you can see also we have a lot of fans here to keep a nice cold barn, so they are comfortable all summer and all winter long. You can kind of see in the whole thing, we also raise Holstein cows as well. And it's the same thing over here. They get milked twice a day. They get to enjoy lots of feed as well. And it's also very, very comfortable in this barn for them as well. So my family has been farming here for a very long time, actually since 1974. And we only start with a few Holstein cows. And we get in with the buffaloes about 15 years ago. We start milking buffaloes. So if you have any questions, I think we'll start to get those soon as well.
Yep, we've got some coming in, so I'll start putting them up for you, Philip.
No problem. So how is a buffalo different? That's a great question. So a buffalo, you can see they're a little bit bigger than what a Holstein cow looks like. We'll give you a comparison here. So they're not as tall as a Holstein, but they're a little bit more, they're a little bit heavier than the Holsteins. A buffalo gives about 1/3 of the milk of a Holstein cow. But the difference is in the milk. They have really high butter fat in the milk, which is really, really great for making cheese. So that's kind of the main differences. Is buffalo milk also referred to as cow's milk or is sold as buffalo milk? That's a great question. So buffalo milk is sold in the grocery store as buffalo milk. It's not called cow's milk. Buffalo milk is truly a niche product. 95% of our farm's milk goes for Italian mozzarella. So Italian mozzarella is in a brine water, and it's a very, very popular cheese that you'll find in the grocery stores. why did you choose water buffalo? Well, they are a really curious animal, and they're kind of fun. Due to the politics in dairy, that's how we ended up in them. But yeah, it's a really imported product. We thought we can grow locally with local products from here. So it's a great question. How can you cross a buffalo with a cow? So the answer to that is no. The reason for that is the chromosome count from a buffalo is different than that of a Holstein, which makes crossbreeding totally not able to happen from the buffaloes and the Holsteins. So, how many animals are on your farm? That's a great question as well. We are milking about 300 cows altogether. We probably have about 400 heifers on the site, with about 100 dry cows as well. So altogether, we're about 800 animals altogether on the farm. What do water buffalo eat? That's a great question as well. As you can see here, they get a total mixed ration. What that means is the guys that are feeding cows every morning, you can kind of see it here, but there's a little bit of corn and a little bit of grass in there, and then a little bit of protein concentrates just to help them to maintain a healthy diet. Most of the feed is grown from on the farm, which allows it's kind of a local renewable circle where the manure goes into the fields, fresh feed comes back in, and the cows get fed, and we make more milk from that too, and we make obviously more manure as well. So, what is the average yield of a buffalo per day? So a buffalo, on average per day, and all of our buffaloes, we average about 8.5 liters of milk per day. Okay, so to put that into comparison from a Holstein, on this side, we're getting about 35 liters per cow per day. We get about 8.5 liters per day per buffalo. The difference comes in the fat in the milk. So 8% fat here, 4.5% on the Holsteins. So that's where the greatness of the buffalo milk comes in, mostly for cheese. What does an average buffalo cow weigh? That's a great question. So we're about the buffalo cows, the big mature ones, like this one here. She's probably going to weigh about 1,800 pounds. So the range will be about from 1,600 pounds to about 1,800 pounds is what a mature water buffalo will weigh. How old are the buffaloes? So in this pen here, we have a very variety of ages. Some of these ones are as young as 3 years old. And some of these cows are as old as 10, almost 15 years old in this barn. Where can you find the water buffalo cheese? So if you're looking for buffalo mozzarella, you go to the grocery store and you look for the Bella Casera brand. It's the mozzarella brand. We also sell our own cheese from our farm store in some retailers, which you can find on our website. And that's sold under the branding Camp Creek Dairies. Are they friendly? Well, they're very curious. As you can see, the entire barn the entire group over here has come to the feed alley to come greet me. And you can see some of them. That one's not so friendly, but most of them are pretty friendly. Can you use the milk for ice cream? Yes, you can. We sell ice cream ourselves as well, and it makes a very, very good gelato ice cream. That's a very popular product that you can make as well. And we have some retailers that are making ice cream with buffalo milk. So the buffaloes are born with horns. They are dehorned when they're younger. And the reason for this is that if they all have horns, if there's a new one in a group, they're not very nice to a new one. So we try to take them off. And we have also employees that are working within the animals. And that's for safety for our employees, we have to do that as well. Some say that horns are for cooling. We also provide lots of fans, so the animals are all not cold, but they're very comfortable in the weather in this barn. So there's no concerns from that. It just is safer for all the animals and the employees. So, how many people work at our farm? So between all of the positions at the farm, we have about 12 employees altogether. That ranges from people delivering milk to stores in Toronto and to GTA, and that goes right down to the guys milking in the parlor, the guys feeding cows, all kinds of things. So there's about 11 to 12 employees for all of that. All your products sold locally. So the buffalo milk is sold basically as far north as Ajax in the GTA, and we go as far south with our own products to Windsor. The buffalo mozzarella is sold from all the way from British Columbia to Quebec. So is the rations or the feed from the buffaloes the same as the Holsteins? And the answer to that is no, but they are fairly similar. So on the buffaloes, we feed a little bit less energy and a little bit less sugars. And on the Holsteins, we feed a lot more energy and a lot more sugar. And that's just because the buffaloes, the output is not so high as a Holstein. So they don't need so much energy. Otherwise, they just get a little bit heavier. So. Yeah. Do we have a manure machine or is it an automatic one? So in this barn here, we have the employees who are chasing the cows to the milking parlor have one tractor, and they will scrape all the manure with the tractor. And this automatic system will take the manure away underground and into our separation. So in that separation machine, it automatically separates the solids, and we can actually reuse those for bedding in the stalls behind, or in the beds behind us. So that's kind of a cool thing where we're not buying more sand or straw or other materials for bedding, and we can reuse and recycle more products on the farm. What do buffalo drink? You look over here, every group has got 4 big water bowls. So every buffalo has access to fresh water all the time. And then we have every single day, the guys are washing the water bowls, so they always have super clean water.
Okay, Philip, I think it's time we head over to the calf barn.
Sounds good.
So while we're on our way, I'm going to play a short video about how the water buffalo are milked. Is there anything you want to add before we play that video, Philip?
No, I hope you guys can enjoy it. We milk twice a day, and it just gives you a nice, simple overview of how we milk buffaloes on our farm.
Okay, so Philip's going to head over to the calf barn. We're going to play the video, and then he will be back with us to answer some more of your questions. Okay, so Philip's just making his way over to the calf barn. And so what you just saw was a rotary parlor. So on Philip's farm, water buffalo are milked using a rotary parlor, meaning that you saw them standing on a rotating platform, kind of like a carousel. So as they get milked, the milking unit automatically attaches to their udders and the milk flows into the collection machine. So it looks like Philip has made his way into the barn, so we're going to bring him back in to answer some more questions. Welcome back, Philip.
Thank you. So here, I'll just give a quick explanation here for what's going on. So here's where we house all of the little baby buffalo. So this little guy here, one more over, he was just born this morning. And every buffalo in here will receive milk twice a day, nice warm milk. And then they'll stay in here until they are weaned, and they will go to the next facility. So If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. How long does it take to milk a buffalo? So in a milking parlor, it takes about 12 to 13 minutes per rotation. So a buffalo will be riding on the parlor for about 12 to 13 minutes. How many buffaloes are being milked? That's a great question. We're milking just over 200 buffaloes right now. What do the calves eat and drink? So these calves here will receive milk twice a day. Once they're a little bit older, after a week or just about a week old, they will start to get grain. So here you can see there's lots of grain. It's got corn, straw, and some roasted soybeans, and they get fresh water as well all the time. How is that barn different than the last one? Well, the difference is now they get their own little pen with fresh bedding. They can see all of their friends as well. And we still have lots of fans here to keep the air nice and fresh and keep all of our calves healthy. This is just for baby calves in this barn, so especially built just for baby calves. How often do you guys change the bedding? So every 4 weeks they'll get totally fresh bedding, but twice a week we're adding fresh bedding or sawdust on top for them. Why do they have numbers on their ears? It's kind of like the same way how we have names. So this white tag represents that she's a female, and she is the 1,327th heifer we've had born from at our farm in Canada. So an orange tag for us means that they are a bull, and the white tag means they are a heifer or female. Can calves get milked? No, a calf cannot get milked. It takes about 3 years before a buffalo enters into the milking herd. So for 3 years she is growing. Are there buffaloes being born all the time? Yes, buffaloes are being born all the time. They will calve 24 hours a day. Usually it's at a very inconvenient times, like the middle of the night or when you're trying to go away for something. But yeah, we are calving cows all the time. All the time there's calves being born. How much different are they than beef animals? So from the weight gain, they're very similar to beef animals, but the milk quality is much better than a beef animal. So that's how I would describe it. But if you're looking from carcass quality, it's very similar. Yeah, mostly they're all from milk, and we try not to send anything for meat as little as possible. How fast do they grow? So a buffalo bull will they will gain about 3 pounds per day. The heifers are a little bit slower, but they're also gaining at a very similar rate. So buffalo will reach adulthood, and she will join our milking herd by about 3 to 3.5 years old. What is the hardest part of my job? Oh, that's a great question. Well, we have a lot of things going on, and sometimes having enough people to help us is a bit of a struggle. But honestly, if you enjoy it all, it's not so bad, and that's part of it. I enjoy what I do, so I don't think any of it is too crazy hard. So. Which do you prefer, cow's milk or buffalo milk? Well, I have two different favorites. If I'm just drinking a glass of milk, I love my cow's milk. But if I'm having my milk with my coffee, then I really love buffalo milk. What's the best way to use buffalo milk? Well, buffalo milk is the best for fresh cheeses, like mozzarella. It is a very high yield because it's got high fat, and it just makes wonderful mozzarella or fresh cheeses. So. How did you get into farming? Well, my parents farmed, and my parents' parents also farmed. But when I came out of college, my parents gave me an opportunity to come home to the farm and farm with them. So after working for a long time for them now, I start to get some opportunity, more opportunity to be in charge of things. And that's kind of how I got started into the farming. The buffaloes come from Florida, so that's how we got started with buffaloes. But where do you hope the farm goes in the future? Well, I hope someday that maybe my kids can take over the farm. And I hope that I can continue to farm in the future with my siblings. And then we can all be a growing successful farm. But we want to make sure that we can provide fresh buffalo products. And I hope in the future when we expand our offerings that we have, and we can sell our milk further out of where we're currently selling. So outside of the GTA more, maybe into different provinces. I hope there's really some expansion opportunities coming up. Do they ever escape? Well, sometimes the little calves can get these little things open, and then you're running around chasing them. That happens from time to time. And buffaloes are very, very smart. So for them to open the little latches, the openers on here, it's not uncommon. Or to open a gate in the barn is also it happens very often. We hope it doesn't, but it does happen. So are buffaloes able to have twins? They are able to have twins, the same as like a Holstein would. However, it's very, very less common than what a Holstein would. So I think we've only ever had 2 sets on our farm in the buffaloes. So in 15 years, we've had 2 sets of twins. What continent are the buffaloes from? Well, there's buffaloes all over the world. In Asia is a lot of buffaloes. In South America is a lot of buffaloes. There's some in North America, and there's lots in Europe. So they're really all over the world. I believe they originally come from Asia. What is the favorite thing about my job? Well, the favorite thing from my job is working with our amazing team of people. We get to take care of such awesome animals all the time. I think it's really cool how we have an amazing team and we all work really hard. And at the end of the day, we enjoy what we do, and that's what makes it fun. And that's my favorite thing.
Is there anything else you wanted to share before we head off for the day?
No, I think it's good. I really enjoy the opportunity to share our farm with you guys. And I hope you guys learned something and you can take it home and share it with the people you like or you love in the home and so on. So.
Okay, well, thank you for such an amazing tour and happy Local Food Week. And we hope to see everyone who tuned in today on some of our other farms. Goodbye, everyone.